So I was thinking, for the show that we've got to do for the millions and millions. All right, fine.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Rugby League Outlaws, brought to you by the good people at Top Sport. Don't forget to like and subscribe where you can. I apologise, Dan, for the rudeness, but
After my day on Twitter, I think it's deserved.
it wasn't a very good weekend of rugby league.
Had its moments, but overall, no.
No. Now look, what that weekend of rugby league did give us though is an incredible final round.
It's true.
It has delivered.
Why don't you explain it to us, Terry?
Well, it has delivered a spoon bowl.
It has, well, there's an
Now
event.
Parramatta winning that game against St George, you're kind of hoping that they were going to go in at last, but, you know, whatever it is.
It's all to be
Winner
won.
of this game avoids the spoon.
Yep. Now, can I just comment on this real quick?
Go.
Tigers fans have all come together, and they're rightfully, it's an exciting game.
Yeah.
But the fact is...
Sold out.
Fantastic. But they're all celebrating the fact that they might avoid the wooden spoon. Says everything about where you guys are at right now. I just want to throw that in.
Yeah, cool. We've then got the
Don't mean to bring everyone down.
Knights and the Dolphins.
Straight shootout.
Winner of that gets 8th. Unless there's a draw
Yeah,
in which the winner of Dragons and Canberra
that's true.
can get 8th. Unless Brisbane can beat Melbourne.
Look, it's
So,
still there technically.
it's still there.
Mathematically, they
No,
are alive.
Look, yeah, the winner of the Knights, Dolphins,
Straight shootout.
is 8th. We have the Dogs and Cowboys to sort out 5th.
Yep, they're going to host.
However, if the Dogs beat the Cowboys and beat them well enough, the pressure goes on to Cronulla
It does.
to not lose by enough to Manly, or they can drop out.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's unlikely.
Yeah.
But we've seen Cronulla get flogged before, and we've seen the Bulldogs put a score on.
And Manly's the bogey ground.
Yeah, it is.
Although this is an Olympic year, 2024.
Oh, yeah. We usually get them.
We usually get them. We've also seen an injury toll to the Roosters, which we will talk about later. They could see them drop to 4th.
Completely true.
And we've got a well-rested Melbourne.
Yeah.
So this final round is going to be one of the elite final rounds. Now, people have asked before, has there been a genuine spoon bowl? And yes, there has. Penrith versus Newcastle in 2015. Loser of that game got the wooden spoon. But it didn't quite have the hype of this because this is the chance for the Tigers to avoid the unwanted 3 in a row, which Newcastle would go on to get.
Yeah. Historically bad.
I honestly think, though, if the Tigers do get this 3-peat of wooden spoons, it's way worse than anything Newcastle achieved.
Yeah, it's a different world.
Yeah.
Newcastle were so down, you just assume they'd come last.
Yeah.
The Tigers have been promised and delivered to a point this year, obviously not that much,
Yeah.
or they wouldn't be where they are. But it's the fact they're playing Parramatta.
Yeah.
If it was like the Cowboys or something, that'd be hilarious. But to lose to Parramatta and come last is going to hurt.
Yeah.
For Parramatta to lose to the Tigers and come last is going to hurt. It's the perfect setup.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks that it's 6 p.m. on a Friday, but let's be honest, the NRL probably looked at this and think, well, Parramatta are going to finish 8th, the Tigers are going to finish 18th.
Last. Yeah.
So who cares? Let's put it there. And they put it at Campbelltown. Now, I saw a stat that said they haven't sold Campbelltown out in 20 years. I don't believe that to be true. I think it was like a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
They've had a few. But the fact is, the amount of fair weather fans that didn't turn up when they were 17th, that are coming out of the woodwork when they could finish 16th, it's disgusting.
Yeah, and look, there's also a lot of people online from other clubs that went and got tickets to this just to say that they were at the Spoon Bowl. There are going to be a lot of like different jerseys with spoons in the ground.
It's a great celebration,
yeah.
and I'm so happy for everyone involved. It's a win-win for us as neutrals though, because either the Tigers lose and finish last, or Parramatta finish last. Win-win.
Win-win. Now, a team that copped an incredible loss on the weekend. Not only did they lose the game, the Sydney Roosters, but they've also lost Sam Walker to an ACL, Brendan Smith to an ACL, and Victor Radley to a shoulder injury.
Yeah.
Gone for the year, and you don't want to rub salt into the wound, but that's the Roosters gone.
I think it's their premiership window gone. I still think they're above a lot of the teams there. There's a lot of talent left, Tedesco, Manu, etc., etc. You need those elite players to challenge these top two. As soon as Walker went down, that was it. Brandon Smith, I thought, was playing quite good football. Also doesn't help.
Brandon Smith has had a tremendous back end of the season. Like, Sam Walker's probably had his most consistent year of rugby league. He hasn't been dropped all that often. I don't think he got dropped this year. Like, last year he was in and out of North Sydney. Brandon Smith, though, the back end of his season, I think, has only been picked by Blake Brayley.
Yeah.
In terms of the number 9s of the competition. Like, Reece Robson's had a really consistent year, but it's just been consistent.
Smith's been back in 100%. It sucks for the Roosters. And look, for the rugby league fans in this, it's not good. Yeah,
like, the whole thing is, like, if the Roosters finish third, they're going to go to Penrith and they're going to get walloped.
Yeah.
They can probably go to Melbourne and be a little bit physical, but at the end of the day, they're going to get walloped as well. And you kind of wanted to see where this Roosters team, because the Roosters have scored like 700 points this year. It's one of the best attacking seasons that we've seen. But when they've played teams like, throw Cronulla in there, when they played Penrith, when they've played Melbourne, they haven't quite aimed up to it. And you just want to see if the finals would have been a little bit different. They're going to go in undermanned, severely undermanned. They've named Sandon Smith.
They have. I was a bit shocked. I actually thought
it was going to be Joey.
Because it's a lot to throw on rookie, although this week's the week.
Yep.
If Smith shits the bed, you can go the Manu route. So I get it.
Yeah, I get it this week to get some reps. But if it doesn't work, quite quickly, I think he'll get hooked to Manu.
Yeah, of course.
Because they've got Billy Smith back as well.
They do. He's fit. You got young Poga. Look, you got the rugby union convert. There's a lot of things they could do.
Michael Jennings.
Yep, look, and Suoli's back this week, which is good to see after his whatever. It sucks because I really thought there was a clear top 3, and now it looks like a clear top 2, especially with Cronulla not playing well. The Bulldogs losing, Manly losing Turbo, although hopefully he's back for finals. It really kills the top 3 and the rest. It's top 2, but who knows? Maybe this galvanises them and drives them to beat Penrith, hopefully.
Now, one team that's taken an absolute mickey out of us recently, South Sydney.
Oh, yes.
This has really fired you up.
It has. It's annoyed me. To say it's cheating is perhaps going a little bit far, but what's South Sydney asking us to cop? So for those that don't know what we're referring to, earlier in the year, the Charles Mitchell white powder scandal, blah, 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 they've come out and said he's on leave for the rest of the year. South fans are blowing up. You kidding me? It's our superstar. Why isn't he back playing? Had an injury, whatever. 1 game suspension from the NRL. Now the South Sydney Rabbitohs have come out and said, we would have named Latrell this week. He's fit to go and we're going to prove it, and wants to serve the ban. What an absolute bucket of tripe.
Yeah.
They've come out and said Latrell is not playing for the rest of the year. He's rested. He's done. Except because he's suspended, we were going to name him. The NRL should call the bluff and say, okay, we need a big game. Play Latrell and we'll suspend him for round 1 next year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Otherwise, if he can't back up, I'd double it and say, this is 2. You are taking the mick. This is an absolute joke. Stop it. You're an embarrassment to rugby league. We're going to kick you back out again.
Can we
See you on Friday. Yes.
Can we just? Yeah, no. The NRL should absolutely turn around and say, no, it's fine. This ban is 100% for round 1, so name him and play. Yeah, please name him and play.
He has to play now. And when the Latrell warms up and goes, my something, they can go, well, cool, it's 2 games now.
Yeah.
It is an absolute piss take, and I hate it. And the amount of people that were like, your team would do it, I'd hope we'd never be in a position, because not only, look, South Sydney have bent to Latrell's will for so many years. We sat here and on the Knock On podcast and said, we're happy that South are going to step up, because the talk was they were going to fine him up to $250,000. Turns out that's what they could legally fine him. They've said, no, 25 grand, half it suspended, 1 game.
100 grand, 100 suspended.
Yeah, slap on the wrist. So 20 grand, which is pittance for this bloke. For what happened, who cares? It's really, really down there on the atrocity scale. But it's like the 50th time we've discussed this. South Sydney are bent to Latrell. Now they're asking the entire NRL to stomach this garbage, to bend to a player who I don't think that's serious about rugby league right now. And if he got a gig somewhere else, he'd be off. So no, South, you're not getting away with this. It's absolutely rubbish. Copy medicine and suspend him in round 1.
And also, for anyone turning around and saying, but you'd hope that your team would did it, we had Braden Trindle this year, and we literally did not name him until the NRL said, you're allowed to name him.
Yep. It's just, there we go.
It's as simple as that. Now, something that isn't simple. The Knights are trying to clear house. Now, they've tapped 3 players on the shoulder. 4 players on the shoulder. 1 they thought had already gone. So, in case you missed it today, Adam Elliott, Jaden Brayley and Jackson Hastings have all been told they are free to go. Now, Daniel Saifiti looked like he was going to go to the Dolphins until the Dolphins found out his salary and asked how much Newcastle were going to chip in. And Newcastle said 0. Now, do you know what that salary is, Dan?
I would have guessed 600. To 650, he's a former rep. Origin
said $800,000 in the paper today, and they were hoping that Newcastle would chip in 250.
Yes, that's fair.
Yeah.
800k.
The Dolphins have said, unless you chip in, we're not taking him. And Saifidi, well within his rights, has turned around and said, well, I don't have a contract, so I'm a Newcastle player next year.
100%. He can't begrudge him. He signed it.
Yeah.
800k. There's no prop forward outside of Payne Haas, Adam Fanua-Blake, Joseph Tarpany. Maybe,
Tino.
Yep, Tino. Maybe 5. James Fish-Harris being the 5th. That is worth that. Especially the shell of a bloke who was pretty good a couple of years ago. There's no wonder the Knights are in this situation. And I'm struggling not to laugh here. I actually wrote last week that Ponga is the ultimate boom or bust because you put him in and he gets you Dally M and drags you to a final series, but you're not going any further. And they're in a position where they have to kick 4 players out now to get weaker because of this one bloke. And then you find out Saifidi's on 800k. Maybe Ponga's not the problem. Maybe it's the upper management throwing money around for lols. To the point where they've asked their club captain and their superstar signing in Jaden Bradley to Gorski's.
It looks like he was initially linked with the Dragons, and then they went and got Damien Cook. Probably going to go to Souths.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Look, we rag on him a bit because it's really hilarious and easy, but he's a decent player. He's not special. But the Knights sit in, round 27 with an okay hooker that they don't want next year, with a superstar, legendary fullback, and no halves combo that you look and go, yeah, that's their number one, because they're still deciding with a week to go to finals, and they have to kick 4 players out to maintain that.
Now, last year going into the finals, Willie Mason dropped on a podcast that they had the worst spine in the NRL in terms of Phoenix Crossland, Tyson Gamble, Jackson Hastings, and Kalen Ponga. They're probably going to get 8th. I picked them to come 8th a couple of weeks ago.
You did.
But again, going in there, you don't know who their halves are. What are they? They're going to get rid of Brayley and put Crossland back there, but he's the halfback at the moment.
Yeah. So
it's a mess.
It is an absolute mess.
It's an absolute mess. When we do our ladder prediction next year, I don't care what you say. I'm not picking the Knights in the top 8.
Completely fair.
Now, Dan, we're going into the biggest game of their history. The biggest game in the history.
Huge.
They have a superstar number 7 in the making.
They do.
Who was awesome this year. Up the top of the Dally M's.
Carver.
No one really cares about the Dally M award, but he was up the top there.
No Toby R.
He's not named on the interchange bench this week. Not named to start. He's named in jersey number 19. Why?
Well, I have a theory. Wayne Bennett is taking the absolute mick because he doesn't care about the future development of the Dolphins because he's out in a couple of weeks' time. Possibly this week could end it up. Last week he looked at his side and he said, you know what, my best course of action is moving Hammer to the centres, putting Averillo at 6, and it worked an absolute treat. Katoa, I can't even remember if he got on the field the other day because I barely watched any of that game. I was at the Sharks. He said, look, he's a superstar, he's the future of a club I'm not going to be at. I want to win now, I'm going to pick my most experienced team, and good on him.
I don't know if that's the right thing to do.
It's Wayne Bennett. Why would he care? He's off to South. In a week, this time next week, he'll be thinking about South Sydney because they're going to lose.
Is this him turning around also as well going, hopefully Katoa asks for a release and then you're going, no.
That would be excellent shithousery. No, I think, honestly, getting Trey Fuller at fullback was a great move because the Hammer was having a bit of an off time. Moving into centres, and Averillo played like an absolute beast the other night. I think he's looked and gone, it's a must win.
Yep.
And he doesn't need to concern himself with the future, which Katoa undoubtedly is.
That's fair. Look, I part of me wants the Dolphins to win and make the finals, and part of me just doesn't really care. But I just don't understand how, the best coach that has ever coached this game has just completely mishandled this young kid this year, in my opinion.
No, it's none of his concern. Gary.
Talk to me, Dan.
Time to talk some black, white and blue.
Don't want to.
Somewhat, unfortunately, after the goings-on of Saturday night. But overall, things pretty peachy.
That was embarrassing.
With that loss, now let me be very clear here. The loss probably doesn't mean we're going to go outside the 4 because the turnaround required is monstrous. I get why people are like, it's not the end of the world, except it is. Because once again, the lights are on bright. At home, sold-out crowd against a team that's going really badly, No hope of playing finals, nothing to play for. Don't give me this Johnson fairy tale BS. They would have played last week if they really cared. And we lost. As is tradition for the Cronulla Southern Sharks. It's worrying because we've got big games, or we've only got big games coming up, and we lost the easiest of the lot.
I could have copped this loss if we were up 10-4 at halftime. The fact that we were up 22-4 is what really hurts, because it just, like, the minute they went on that roll, you started getting PTSD of last year when we were up 26-12 and they just stormed over the top of us. I don't know, like, I don't know what it is about this team, but they are, when you watch them play, when momentum just shifts, they can't wrestle it back. The beginning of the second half, Nico scores that try and it gets taken off of them, and they just can't fight back. Mm-hmm. And then the Stone Street try gets taken off them, and you just see them all piss their pants and have a tantrum, and the Warriors go and score straight away from it.
Yep.
There's no backbone.
No.
There was nothing. There was no fight. There was no resilience in it. Like when Kale Iro got binned, they didn't want to stand up. They just wanted to have a tantrum.
We got pantsed.
Yeah, their lip came out and they just wanted to have a tantrum. Yeah,
it was pretty disappointing, to be totally honest. Now, I was there with the kids up in the high, and you could see it unravelling. And at half time, I'm like, Cronulla are good. When Nico scored, I still maintain if Royce Hunt isn't lazy and runs through the line, or gets out, Hines scores and we win by 50. Because it was game over. They go, oh, hold on, we're a shot here. And at the end, when Jack Williams dropped the ball, which we'll talk much about later, my daughter, who's 10, who was playing a game, doesn't really care about football, looks up and goes, why don't Cronulla just stop dropping the ball? And I was like...
That's a good question.
Every time we got a little bit behind in the game, not score-wise, but in the game, we were committing dumb penalties, 6 agains, knock-ons. Once again, the second half, the Warriors were almost perfect. Unless they make an error, we can't wrestle momentum back. That is borderline disgusting in round 20.
41 from 43 sets the Warriors completed. Now, they do have one of the best completion rates in the competition, but it's like Cronulla were just waiting for them to make the error, but they just waited for Cronulla to make the error.
Look, in last few weeks, we've seen it. There's been an error and we've capitalised.
They don't beat, like, teams don't beat Cronulla, they just wait for Cronulla to beat themselves.
Exactly right. A couple of weeks ago, last week, 2 weeks ago now, God, it seems like forever, in Wollongong, we're in a wrestle with the Dragons, they drop the ball, we score. Mm-hmm. We're waiting for teams to make errors. We can't force an error, or more so, even when Kailero was sin-binned, or even when Williams dropped the ball, why didn't they get together and just defend? Mm. Make 5 tackles. It's not that difficult. They've been doing it all game. Why? Well, not really. But why did they shit the bed? And excuse my friends, but that's exactly what they did. They laid a big steaming shit in the bed and then turned around and go, thanks, members. No, not thanks. Play like it. Yeah. Make your tackles, stand up, get adversity, put it behind you, and win games when the going gets tough. Going into finals right now, if you'd said to me, we're going to have straight sets, I'm not arguing.
And the worst part about this as well was when Iro went into the bin, there was no change made. We just stuck Teague Wilton in the centre.
Yeah, dumb.
Something needed to change right then and there. The gameplay of whether you put Nicker over there, whether you shift Daniel Atkinson. But Sean Johnson smelt blood in the water, and like a shark, he's the best, the best I've ever seen apart from Cameron Smith, but finding a weakness and just exploiting it. Yeah. And his passing game is unreal.
He's great.
His passing game is absolutely unreal. That kick that he put in 30 metres out, the grubber kick for Waitoni-Zelezniak, we saw that as a shark. Yeah. We saw him do that for our wingers.
It was brilliant.
Oh, man.
It caught Stone Street coming forward too. Because he's quicker than Waitoni, as we saw earlier. He turned and he chased, he did everything right. And Kennedy was a little bit out of position, but not too. Kick was just perfect. But okay, you kick off and you pin them deep, they kick, you get the ball back, you wrestle momentum. We didn't. Nico goes up and misses the tackle. And then you're like, okay, we'll do it again. And then they score again. It was just like the Dolphins game. You're like, okay, we've fallen behind. Let's get momentum back and try and get on top. And Cronulla just seemed to be, when they make a mistake, we'll do that. The good teams don't make mistakes.
When we scored that try to get in front, you just thought, okay, they're going to roll on with it now. And they just didn't look like they wanted to throw the final punch. It was like Trindle kicked that goal and that was it. That was enough.
It wasn't a good performance. That wasn't a terrible performance.
The first half was near perfect.
Yeah, well, they got on top and we did fight back. And then, that Stone Street try, which was just, can we just admit this kid's good yet, please? Was just
should be in the team this week.
Of course he should be in the team. We're just like, okay, here we go. We're on here. And as soon as half-time, they're all high-fiving and stuff. They thought it was job done.
Yeah, they thought the game was over as well.
Yeah, pretty disappointing. Get back to honest.
Royce Hunt, it's been announced today, Royce Hunt has left the Sharks to take a 3-year deal at the West Tigers. I don't begrudge him from doing it. Cronulla turned around and said, you've got 1 year left on your deal. We're probably not going to extend you. We've got other players off contract. We may want to have a look at some external players that come onto the market in the off-season. And Royce Hunt's money frees that position up. Yep. There's been a lot of bedwetting and pants being soiled online today. Let's just put it out there. Royce Hunt's a decent player.
Yeah,
he's done a great job for us since he joined the club, and I don't begrudge him for taking this opportunity for him and his family. It's a 3-year deal at the Tigers on pretty good money.
Yep.
I've heard people turn around and say, oh, the impact that he has, he's the only forward that comes off the bench and has impact. That's completely incorrect. Jack Williams had more impact than anyone off the bench this year. Yeah, I know you're going to turn around and go, oh, he dropped the ball. He did. Most significant drop that we've had. But he hasn't run for 100 metres once this year. And then people go, oh, it's because of the minutes. Well, he can't play big minutes.
No, he can't.
Doesn't have the fitness for it. We saw 3 minutes after half-time, he was gassed. He couldn't even run through the line. So, I don't begrudge him. I think it's a good signing for the Tigers. He goes to the Tigers team, comes off the bench. Maybe at the moment, could possibly start for them.
He could start.
Yeah. It is what it is.
The guy, you took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to mention the fact that if he runs through the line, if he stops, if he pivots, if he does anything other than what he did, which is nothing.
If he just gets out of the way.
Nico scores, we win that game. So, look, he had a big... I'm not going to blame him for the loss because we had 30 other opportunities, but it didn't help.
We had 33 minutes to close the game out.
We did. Royce Hunt is a good player. Mm-hmm. I agree. There are times where we sat here on this very couch and said we keep him over player XYZ. Mm-hmm. As the season has gone on, and as you start thinking past the performances and you start looking to Adam Fanua-Blake and how he adjusts, you look and you think, okay, well, this player we need. And as the money's come out and as players have shown full fitness and we've sort of settled into what we're going to play finals, Royce Hunt is a very obvious odd man out. And I'm not going to sit here and say I'm happy he's leaving because I'm not.
No.
But if you said to me, you have to cut one forward, it's Royce Hunt. I'm not even thinking about it. Mm-hmm. Oregon Kaufusi stepped up in the last 6 weeks to a standard where he could start next year. Mm-hmm. I've still got Hamlin Noeli in there, but I'm living in the past. And because I want him to start and fail so I can call Nerdy Nerd on that podcast, that's only going to make 5 people happy, whatever, I like it. I think Kaufusi, if you let him go now, there are 5 or 6 clubs will grab him. You had to take the opportunity to offload Royce. Wish him the luck. Hopefully he goes. Send him out with the premiership. Mm-hmm. Be that for Newtown or Cronulla.
Newtown.
I
don't think he can play flag.
No, but maybe big flag. But considering that we got him as that guy's huge from Canberra. He's done exceptionally well, and congrats to him.
Yep.
But no, I'm not going to cry tears that he's moved on.
He's earned that deal.
Absolutely.
Let's just say.
Thank you, Royce.
Thank you, Royce. Yeah. New South Wales Cup. A result went our way, and we finished the year in second.
We did.
A nice 39-36 win over the Warriors.
Yeah, geez, that was more difficult than it needed to be.
I know. It looked like another game that they weren't going to close out as well. But they did the job. They get second place. They're hosting Canberra at Leichhardt.
Yep, all the games at Leichhardt.
5 o'clock.
Which sucks, because Leichhardt sucks. But it means that they can put the cameras there and call all 4 games. I get it. Mm-hmm. Canberra are going to be a tough challenge. Let's be honest. They've dropped Chevy Stewart back, although he's been playing a lot. You got Nick Kotrick on the wing. You got some decent players in there. Newtown have named a very strong side. Sam Stone Street, Billy Burns and the like, and Puru.
And huge Tukes.
Huge Tukes. So I'm excited. A win means we go through and play the
North Sydney Bears
next week. Now they're the Storm feeder, so they're going to have some players. Maybe not Farlago because Pappenhausen might be out. But anyways, we've got to win. If we lose, we've got to play the winner of the Panthers and the Warriors.
Warriors.
Who are both very good, and we just got past the Warriors this past weekend. So a win would be nice. 5 p.m. at Leichhardt Oval. If you can't be there, newsouthwales.rl.tv. I don't know. I'll tweet it out later in the week. Anyways, go Jets.
The flag team, their streak of impressive 40 and 50-point scoring comes to an end. It looked like they were going to get it, man. They scored 2 tries in the blink of an eye.
They did what they had to.
Yeah, they got up to a 20-0 lead and they just managed their way through. No injuries, no on reports, no suspensions, Nothing stupid. They beat the Warriors 20 points to 4. They cap off an incredible run of 7 wins and a
8.
bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, they lost to the Dogs, went 7 straight.
It's been
with a bye.
really,
it's been
really
huge.
good.
And a lot of that has to do with giving some teams an absolute hiding and getting our for and against over there. Now, we play Newcastle.
We do.
At Leichhardt.
Now, we've beaten them twice this year.
Yes, and one of them was in that run where we scored 40 points.
Both games were in Newcastle. The way it works, Fleg's a little bit different to the other divisions. Riley Pollard has been the player of the season for me. I do have to say I've only watched Sharks games though, so maybe I'm a little bit biased in that regard.
He's just about being the best player for the Sharks.
In the world. Of all time in history.
He's a tremendous prospect.
Now, they've named a full-strength team. You've seen Torquemo drop back. Now, just quietly, we did drop Stone Street back last year and he had his 2 worst games, as he revealed to us exclusively on Super Duper Saturday in the pre-season. So don't think, just because he's played a bit of flag, but with him, Christian Dixon back and that forward pack is frightening. 3 p.m.
Yeah.
Which is really good. We get the 2 games in a row. I'm excited.
Now, I was chatting to someone who said if there was a betting market for Flegg, Cronulla would be at about $1.10.
Yep. Well, it's all about momentum.
It is.
But the problem is you can turn up and lose by 30 on any given day.
Yep.
So let's go, boys. Let's go.
I will attempt to watch this game. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to watch either of them other than on Twitter. We do have a very special person's 18th birthday on the weekend. Paul's son, Declan, turned 18 on Monday. So we're going to go out and celebrate with him. So
happy birthday,
fingers crossed.
I'll be watching the Jets, even if I had been invited.
And the girls.
Oh,
Let's talk about the girls. The girls in the black, white and blue.
The perfection.
Now, the Titans, at the beginning of the season, were the Premiers elect. People were saying that they were the favourites. They had recruited very well. And we went up to the Gold Coast and just went, nah, not today.
Jamie Chapman, unashamed fan.
Yes.
Would
look great in black, white and blue.
There's photos of her where she played for Cronulla in the juniors. They're definitely good. Yeah. But she is a superstar. Probably my favourite non-Shark. And Biddle.
Gave her an absolute walloping.
Took her to shreds. Now, look, she absolutely bathed one of the best players of the competition and has announced herself big time to the point where Jamie Chapman now has a poster of Vanessa Biddle up on her wall.
Is Vanessa Biddle the most underrated player in the NRLW at the moment?
Yeah, because no one's talking about her. They should be talking about her. Like our centres.
And this is what I was going to say. All the pre-game talk about, they were talking around saying that Cronulla's got one of the best strike players out wide, and I was ready for them to say Georgia Ravix or Vanessa Biddle. And they said Tiana Penatani. Now, Penatani's awesome.
She's not wrong.
Because she ran 65 metres and scored a tremendous try. But Biddle's a freak.
Biddle's a monster. Yeah, I was expecting her to leave at the end of the year and go join the
Warriors.
Yeah, but she signed a contract extension, which I'm just through the roof.
Yeah.
She's amazing. She
was the Rookie of the Year last year. She's going to be in the Team of the Year this year. Has to be.
It's funny though, because remember in the preseason I said Georgia Ravix is going to be the top try scorer and she didn't score in like the first 4 games. Well, now she's only 2 or 3 behind the top try scorer with the Tigers coming up. So go right, girls, I need this one. She's playing, look, they all are.
Yeah,
Tale Holmes came back from a potential long-term injury.
Team of the week.
Arguably best on ground. But
now, I've got to say this. I am a huge fan of the Cronulla number 9s at the moment because Quincy Dodd.
Yeah. Quincy
Dodd is probably my favourite Shark. Both teams.
Completely fair.
Love it. 6-0.
6-0.
Finals. We are the only team in the NRL. We're the only team, I shouldn't say in the NRL. We're the only team in the competitions that have all qualified for senior finals. Yep.
Now, Penrith don't have a girls' team qualified for 3, but it doesn't matter because you don't have it and you can't. We're in. We're 1 game away from the minor premiership. Sunday afternoon, we'll be down there. It's going to be huge.
I will not be down there.
Well, I'll be down there.
You'll be down there.
Against the Roosters, minus Millie Elliott, who took a suspension. I heard it's because she's scared of...
I heard it's because Adam is trying to get a contract at Cronulla and she's trying to get over as well. So that is not true. But anyway, that'd be fun.
That'd be nice.
That would be nice.
7-0.
Dan.
Talk to me, Terry.
It's time for some top sport tips.
Everybody, including my favourite time of the week.
Yeah, now, I'm calling it. It's over.
It's not over.
It's over.
It's time to get serious.
It's over.
No.
I'm 19 points clear.
We've still got finals.
Nah.
Couple of perfect rounds and game on.
It's not on.
It's all going to come down to the GF, mark my words.
Mate, it's over. I'm on 144 points. You're on 125. We've raised over $210 for charity.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we haven't raised over $210. We've raised
We've
bang
sucked
on
our way into
$210 for charity. Tristan's going to match. Dids has said he's going to triple.
Triple now.
It's amazing.
Keeps going up.
Triple now.
By the end of the year, Dids is just going to bankroll the whole thing. So, but no,
That's my house deposit.
yeah, but this is awesome. This is really good. You lose, I'm going to eat a steak. That's all we need to worry about. Let's just start tipping.
Let's go.
Thursday night, up in Brisbane, Broncos season is officially over. I don't care what anyone says. They take on the Storm.
Oh, it's over.
Talk to me. Have the Storm named a full-strength team?
They have. Yes, Pappenhausen's out through injury, but they've named a full-strength team. They're going to go up there and wipe Brisbane off the park. Now, Brisbane have named a side.
Is Walsh playing?
Don't care.
Is Haas playing?
Don't care. Yes, and I don't know about Walsh. But they've named a lot of players that look like their swan song. They know they're going to get flogged and like it. Storm.
We're not going to tip the next game yet. We're going to save that for
Main event?
last. That is the main event. We'll save it for last. We'll give it the air time that it deserves, the whole 15 seconds. South Roosters, Friday night. South have the opportunity to do something really funny.
They do. Get kicked out of the comp again.
South have something to do, two things really funny, and that would just be to go out and just attack the Roosters. Yeah. The Roosters aren't going to be suspecting it, right? Expecting it. Sorry.
No, South's the worst team in the comp.
They really are. Yeah. They're the worst team that's not going to finish last. Yeah. They just need to go out and headhunt. Just turn this into a brawl.
I think they do early. I think South will lead and the Roosters will go, nah.
Turn this game into a brawl. Turn it into a fight, and the Roosters won't be able to go with it because there's too much on the line.
Yeah, they got to worry.
There's too much on the line for that. Like my game, if I'm South Sydney coach this week, and thank God I'm not because Ben Hornby's a but I would be telling all my players to just go out and smack 7 shades of shit off the Roosters and don't worry about it. Copy suspension next week. Who cares?
Well, they'll only fudge it anyways.
Yes, Wayne's coming in. He can deal with that. Yeah, just take someone because they're not going to throw a punch back.
No, they're not, but they're going to beat them by 40.
Probably. Yeah. Just do what you can. Hurt someone. Please.
Roosters.
Oh, you know what? For banter, I'm going to go South.
Love it.
Moneyball. Yeah. Moneyball, South. Saturday, Super Saturday, starts off with an unsuper game between the Dragons and the Raiders. Now, there is still a technicality that either of these teams can make the finals. Dragons really bad. Raiders have had 2 exceptional performances in a row, which makes you think
where's it been?
It's going to come crashing down.
Oh, you're gonna tip the Dragons?
Hell no.
Yeah, good.
Are you?
Who are you tipping?
Raiders.
Oh, Dragons.
Moneyball.
What the hell?
5:30 in a call. They've done this game at a call. How did you not take this game to Belmore?
It's gonna sell out Belmore.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, Dogs versus Cowboys.
This is for a home final.
Yeah, this is... Well, I mean...
Look, it can go the other way. This is a home final.
Yeah.
Don't ruin the temptation.
Yeah, because if Manly lose, they're both going to get a home final anyway. There's so many scenarios and technicalities that could happen in here, but...
Stephen Crichton's back. Boy, did they miss him.
Yes. 2 teams last week that really missed their centres. Cronulla and Canterbury.
Yep.
He's back. They've got a lot to play for. They're going to want 4th. For the Cowboys to come 4th, they need to overcome a 200-point deficit. So they need to win by 100 and hope Cronulla lose by 100. So I don't think they have as much to play for as the Dogs. Therefore, I'm going to pick the Dogs.
Yeah, I think the Dogs will win this game too. But I'm going to tip the Cowboys. Moneyball.
Penrith and Titans, I don't even care. It's the last game at Penrith for 2 years. Penrith.
Make fun of our home ground. Yeah,
Penrith. Sunday afternoon, 4 Pines Stadium in Brookvale, because they don't even play at Manly.
No.
Manly are taking
Imagine
on...
not playing it where your thing's from.
Yeah, I mean, because we play in Cronulla.
We do.
Manly against the Sharks. Yep. Both teams named full strength.
Yeah.
As full strength as they can be.
Yeah. It's good to see. Sold out.
Yeah, it has sold. It's been sold for a while.
Lots of asbestos,
Yeah. Look.
Heaps of asbestos.
Cronulla have more to play for in this game than Manly. However, Manly can still get a home final.
Manly could book a rookie final, which is gold to them, because I think if they don't play Brookvale, they get wiped.
Yeah.
If they win it, they play Brookvale, they win. I can't remember the last time I got a Cronulla tip right, so I'm going to tip them, I think, because they lost last week when I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So that jinxed.
I'm going to tip Manly in a double money ball.
Double money ball. All right. Cool, why not?
Why not? And finally, the game.
Not finally.
Well, no, it's not. And so we've saved the two best games for last because these are the two games that have the most riding on it. So let's start. Knights Dolphins. Mm-hmm. It's up at McDonald Jones Stadium. If ever you wanted to host the game, it was this one.
Big time.
Now Newcastle found some form. They're having the run the same as they did last year. Callum Ponga hasn't quite been as electric because he's had a few injuries here and there, but results have gone Newcastle's way, and the draw has just unfolded. Now I know. The most fun thing to do is shit on Cronulla for getting a soft draw. I challenge anyone to go and have a look at a weaker draw than what the Knights have pulled the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, big time. It's worked out well. But, I mean, you
save your run. And this is exactly like Adam O'Brien, like him or loathe him, he's an intelligent dude. And he turned around and said, we looked at the draw and we knew that if ever there was a shot to get into the finals, we marked this out. This is when we had to peak. And that's exactly what they've done.
Yeah.
I tipped them to make the finals. Now, I want the Dolphins in the finals. Mm-hmm. If I tip the Dolphins, they will lose.
Gotcha.
So I'm tipping the Knights.
Well, I'll go the Dolphins in.
Moneyball,
obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I think this could be the game of the round because there's so much on the line. And the crowd is going to be humongous. Last week we saw the Dogs and Manly play a pretty good game that was multiplied by 10 because of the size and the loudness of the crowd. Mm-hmm. That's what we're going to get
4 o'clock. Sunday, Newcastle, sold out, right?
Everything except Newcastle is great.
Now, but this is the thing about a Newcastle crowd. They are fucking awesome when their team is diabolical.
Yep.
With everything on the line. And you just got to remember last year when they were in the finals in week 1, they took on Canberra and that crowd was special. This is a finals game come early.
Makes me want to wave a big flag.
But the main event, 6 o'clock on Friday.
What a shame.
Stop what you're doing. If you are working, like I don't care.
The boss will understand.
The spoon bowl of all spoon bowls.
It is.
The game of all games. This will be an absolute bludger of a game.
Peak rugby league. It might suck. Who knows?
It might suck. Everything from Parramatta last week was awesome, except the final 15 minutes.
Yep. Yeah, when the king came off.
The Tigers well rested off the bye. Yep. They've got a bit of momentum going into this well. 6 straight points.
Yep.
Who do you want to win the wooden spoon?
Parramatta, but also the Tigers. If this is a draw, I know the points differential, but technically they finish on the same. That would be nice. I think Parramatta win this game. Because the Tigers are notoriously bad in the final round, no matter what's on the line. And I think the pressure's going to get to them. And I say that not making fun. This is a big pressure game. It shouldn't be, but it is.
This is a pressure game.
I think Parramatta just got too much talent. But if I could choose, I want the Tigers to improve because I want people to shut up and leave Benji alone for 5 minutes. So I'm going to tip Parramatta and hope they lose.
You're right. Parramatta have the talent advantage. They have everything going for them. Both coaches suck, but Trent Barrett has been a notorious sucker. Benji Marshall has the opportunity to not suck so much later on down the track. I don't know who I want to win this game because either way it's funny. I just want the opportunity to dunk on the Tigers a little bit more.
So there it is.
But you have picked Parramatta, and I have picked the Tigers the last 2 games, and they have won it. I'm going to tip the Tigers and hope that they lose. Moneyball. 5 money balls. 10 money balls. No, just Moneyball. Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Rugby League Outlaws brought to you by our good friends at Top Sport. Don't forget to like and subscribe everywhere you can. Look, next week's show is going to be awesome because it's finals. We're going to be able to talk about the wooden spoon. Hopefully Woody's back.
I was going to say Woody's going to be
Woody's going to be back.
I have a feeling
he's going to be back in my loins. But thank you everyone for your support this year. We will have the up-to-date tally of what Dan and I owe, what producer Dids owes, what Tristan owes, and we'll also
Anyone that
reach
can
out to
chuck
people.
in, many thanks. Don't feel obliged, but they are children.
But this has been a great year for us on this very couch. Although this is the second couch.
Yeah.
First couch sucked.
It did.